What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it's your first time here. Today we are just jumping in right where we left off in the previous episode of the It Ends With Us, Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni saga explained. So much is happening, guys. It's insanity. I don't even know where I'm going to start. But it's important now that we get through Justin Baldoni's complaint or lawsuit so that we are up to date on both of the lawsuits, and then we can get into everything else that happened. So I'm not going to harp on too long in the intro. We're going to get right into it. But just so you know, I am busy trying to figure out the sound and the lighting, all that sort of things. So just bear with me until we find something that works. All right, let's jump right in. So we ended off last time where Justin was summoned to Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' apartment, where Ryan Reynolds yelled at Justin Baldoni for fat-shaming his wife, and where they demanded that the lift scene be removed from the movie. That is where we ended off last time. The whole fat-shaming allegation. Let's continue. In fact, Lively had earlier expressed insecurity about her postpartum figure, and Baldoni made every attempt to genuinely reassure her. In this exchange, he stated as her director that anything you feel insecure about, we will talk through and get creative together and make you comfortable. I just don't want you to stress about your body. It's the last thing you need. When he later tried to do just that, Lively responded with allegations of XSH, followed by a lawsuit. They then attached a whole text message exchange between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. Blake Lively said, "Kicking ass, but it's still a ton of work with not a ton of time. What's the chance that we can do body scenes at the end of the schedule?" Baldoni came back and said, "I'm sure you are. Honestly, there's 1 billion moving parts to the schedule right now. I just turned in the rewrite and they are hard at work. So much of it comes down to locations and the other costs, availability, etc. So really, I have no clue. I just want you to know you will look amazing. Anything you are insecure about, we will talk through and get creative together and make you comfortable. I just don't want you to stress about your body. It's the last thing you need. As soon as we have a rough schedule that is even remotely accurate, I'll share and I'll make sure the team keeps this in mind as well." Heart emoji. Blake Lively came back and said, "Thank you for your voice memo. It is deeply appreciated. You are everything you promised to be as a collaborator. Thank you. I know my job here, and this piece is a big part of my job here. We both understand the assignment as actors in the roles, but also as producers and also as marketers. We understand artistically, yes, but we get what we need to do in all aspects of this movie commercially. As woke as we both are and work to be," who speaks like that? As woke as we both are. "This movie requires a certain aesthetic. It is part of the job and we both excitedly signed up for it. I don't shy away from it because it's not problematic. It's the assignment. Like when someone is about to start an athletic event. It's their job to be in top shape. My husband and I both look at certain roles as athletic events, and this is one of them. It's not always a part of the job, but in this one it is, and that's great. As much as I love to not think about it, it would be irresponsible and also impossible because it's unrealistic not to acknowledge what I need to do. This is my job here, and I meet my responsibilities with extreme work ethic. I also look for solutions to achieve my high goals instead of lowering my goals. We all win when we are firing at our highest capabilities." This woman writes the longest text messages. Oh my hat. And you and I both are, and will continue to be. "I just need as much time as possible because I just had my fourth baby. I understand that you'll never personally know all the nuances of the challenges unless you live this physical moment in time. I'm in with this physical ride ahead, so having your understanding and support to help me pull this off is critical and very, very appreciated. Not just in my experience now, but also healing from experiences past. So thank you. We are going to kill it and be so fit they will have to Lola us to look less banging. This is her text message. So basically, she was saying, listen, can we move the schedule around so that we do all body scenes at the end of the schedule? Because I'm feeling self-conscious. I'm still working on my body after having a baby. Valdoni is like, listen, I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do with the schedule. I'll ask them to keep it in mind. But honestly, I don't want you to worry about your body. It's the last thing you need. What? She comes back with this whole book of a text message saying that as woke as we both are, or try to be, we all know she's basically saying she's not happy with her body. She needs it to look a certain way for the role. And she has high expectations and she's going to reach her goals. And then she goes, I just had my fourth baby. I know you can't understand because you didn't live through it. It's been nothing but sympathetic. I don't get what she's trying to say here. He said he'll see what he can do if she's more comfortable doing body scenes at the end. He'll see how he can swing it. But don't worry about your body. You'll look great. I don't see how he could have handled this better. Lively then delivered an ultimatum. If Baldoni could not get on board with her work methods, he still had 2 weeks to recast her. Implicit in this ultimatum was a threat to destroy Baldoni's reputation and career. As Lively well knew, Baldoni has worked hard throughout his career to earn and deserve a reputation based on his passionate advocacy for women's rights. A reputation she could later exploit and weaponize against him. If Lively were to back out of the film, especially based on accusations of fat-shaming, Baldoni's reputation and life's work would be left in tatters. He had no choice but to bow to Lively and Reynolds' demands. Concerns about Lively's undue influence on the film began to grow even before filming started. Then there's another text message attached. Producer, you cannot let her have opinions on everything. Jamie Heath comes back and says, Blake, ? The producer says, she's going to be coordinating this film. Yes. Jamie comes back and says, yes, we were talking about that a lot yesterday. The producer comes back and says, exactly. That is why everyone is starting to lose it. We've been talking about the same thing for months. Jamie comes back, yep, it's starting to get resolved. The producer comes back and says, no, it's not. This was the first time that Lively openly moved to seize control of the film from Baldoni, but it would not be the last. Now we go into filming begins and Lively builds her takeover strategy. Principal photography began for the film in early May of 2023. On set, Lively continued to maintain what later appeared to be a facade of close, caring relationship with Baldoni, even as she continued to make escalating demands for creative control. By the time production began, Lively and Baldoni had worked closely together for months, and Lively expressed warm gratitude for her collaboration with Baldoni on the eve of filming. Here is an email, it seems like. This note means so much to me. I'm excited to start tomorrow, but it's only one piece of the journey. We started months ago and I'm grateful for all we have built so far. Thank you for caring so much and for putting every bit of you into showing it. You have given so much of your time to fight for great, and that hasn't gone unappreciated or unseen for a moment. Let's do this shit. From Blake Lively to Justin Baldoni. Throughout the first filming period, Lively continued to share her open and unguarded thoughts on life and her character. She talked about wardrobe choices to make her character much sexier. Here's another email from Blake Lively to Justin Baldoni. We'll show you both ways, but the beanie is much sexier. It's the look. Feels TV without it, especially with a crop top in the snow. It justifies the rest of the skin. And also is a girl I would check out walking down the street because it washes the effort off the rest of the look. I will try and insert here the picture with the beanie. So she's like, I want her to look much sexier. She's wearing a crop top in snow, but the beanie will make it look. Don't even get me started. Anyway, so she's like, she wants her character to look sexy. Lively continued to express her warm appreciation and respect for Baldoni as filming continued, even as she acknowledged that she could be difficult and critical of others, using the kind of language she herself would have alleged to be inappropriate. Here's a text message. Baldoni says, I'm not going to tell you that you were amazing because you teased me for being sentimental, but you were amazing today. She comes back and says, thank you, I do appreciate it. I'm just a ball buster, but it means a lot to me. I care a great deal, and I always want to deliver. You were terrific. I'm proud of everything we did today, but really every day. He then liked the message or loved the message, and he sent back, thank you. Now, Lively's use of the word ballbuster certainly would have made it on her 17-point list if it was Baldoni who said it. Facts. Lively's intimate comfort with Baldoni continued as filming progressed. In June of 2023, after the alleged harassment and uncomfortable situations that allegedly occurred, she even invited Baldoni into her trailer to rehearse while pumping breast milk. Here's an email. I'm just pumping in my trailer if you want to work out lines. Lively was so close and comfortable with Baldoni that she freely breastfed in front of him during meetings, including when her husband was present. Oftentimes, Lively's baby nurse would come in mid-meeting with Lively's hungry baby, and Lively would breastfeed openly and without hesitation. On every occasion, Baldoni averted his eyes from Lively's chest, either maintaining eye contact or looking away. Lively also took photos of him holding and soothing her crying baby in their penthouse. They laughed deliriously during late-night writing sessions. All of these events took place after the alleged harassment. Lively's accusations seemed to come out of the blue. She even knew his tea order. In these messages again where Justin asks Blake, I'm en route, can I get you anything? And then she replies, no, all good, thank you though, I'm getting you a hot matcha, and do you know what Brandon likes? Lively herself set the tone for personal discussions on set, including what language was acceptable. For example, on one occasion while filming the restaurant scene, Lively sat on the floor in painfully expensive shoes while discussing with a group of male cast and crew how sexy her shoes was. Lively had no issue using the word sexy herself, but apparently took note both times Baldoni used the word in her presence. Though she was loose and relaxed in her speech on set, she was increasingly stringent in her demands she imposed on the production. She rewrote her own dialogue consistently and took it upon herself to make unilateral changes to other characters' lines, effectively rewriting the script day by day. This pattern of domineering interference caused unattending interruptions to the production process, leading to entirely unnecessary stress, chaos, and delays. It is well documented on film footage how frequently she requested changes and how at every turn Baldoni took her thoughts and out of fear of repercussions from Lively and her allies, he consistently tried to accommodate her. Now, guys, I'm going to be honest, né? And this is part of where I have to say that I'm the problem, or maybe I sometimes have toxic worldviews. Because as I was reading all of this for the first time, I thought to myself, Justin, why did you not just tell her to fuck off? Be a man, man up and tell her to F off. And that's the moment when I realized, okay, maybe I'm being toxic with the whole man up situation. Because at the end of the day, Baldoni, you can say what you want. People have been digging into this man and they can't find anything except this kumbaya feminist, caring for women, soft spoken man. Okay, that's all we can find. And the fact of the matter is he couldn't. He couldn't tell her F off because she was holding them hostage with the I'm a woman and I'm gonna ruin your career. She held him by the you guys know what I'm saying. And it makes me so mad. It makes me so mad when people weaponize something that's actually serious. I feel so sorry for him. Imagine working in this environment, trying to create a film based on a Colleen Hoover book, which let me tell you is smutty AF. Ne? There's a lot of physical scenes, challenging scenes, a lot of, depictions of serious subject matter. It's a difficult movie to shoot. And then on top of that, while you have to film physical scenes, you have to be afraid the whole time about what this woman is going to do, how she's going to misrepresent every move you make. It must have been exhausting. I can't stand her. And like I said, I used to like her, but the more I learn, the more I cannot stand her. Anyway, during the labor strikes, Lively moves to seize absolute power. On the 2nd of May 2023, the Writers Guild of America went on strike. Production of the film halted temporarily on June 14, 2023, due to WGA picketing. The next day, the production was notified that the WGA had agreed not to picket their set, allowing production to continue. But Lively was already gone and refused to return to production immediately. Wayfarer reworked the shooting schedule at great expense to film the scenes with the younger versions of the characters instead of footage requiring Lively. On the 27th of June 2023, production shut down entirely for the pendency of the strike. The SAG-AFTRA strike soon followed, beginning of July 2023. To make the most of time during the strike, Baldoni began editing the footage that had been captured to date, starting the director's process of turning footage into film. Lively expressed excitement over returning to the shoot in the fall in New York, making no mention of any discomfort or harassment that would only be brought up later, after months of being apart on the day that the strike ended. Both before and during the strike, Lively's eager involvement in the production took on a more insistent and manipulative tone, as she asked access to the dailies and early cuts of the scene, both inappropriate and unorthodox requests. Here's the email she sent. Hi, would you mind giving me access to the dailies? And I'm curious which takes you like of the scenes you showed blank. My manager blank flew out to visit the set and leaves tomorrow. He heard about all of it from blank and I'd love to show him. I appreciate you might be too slammed right now to make it happen, but maybe someone else can facilitate, ? Thanks so much. Now, dailies refers to raw footage of what was filmed that day, including many takes. This is not shared with the cast. Okay, this looks like it's also from Blake. Hi, I hope you and your family are well. I watched the selects you sent. So great. I was so happy and energized. Such solid work from everyone on and off camera. It was really cool to see. We were working so quickly there was never any time to look back, so it's nice to revisit from an audience's perspective. Please let me know who to reach out to get access to the full gallery of dailies. I'm so looking forward to seeing all we have in the can. And of course, any scenes you cut together, I'd love to see. I hope you're having a good summer and hopefully a good edit. Will your assembly be done soon? Wayfarer, Baldoni, and other production on the film strategized about how to respond to Lively, which became common practice as to not trigger backlash from Lively. You see how exhausting this is? Now they have to talk amongst each other to see how they must handle Blake Lively so that she doesn't throw her toys out of the cot. The text exchange below demonstrates adamant objections to giving Lively the dailies. Not only was it inappropriate overreach, but it was very real concern that a simple ask such as rewriting a couple of scenes would turn into complete takeover, like rewriting the script. They rightly feared that giving her the dailies would turn into her demanding to edit the whole movie, which is exactly what happened. Here's the text exchange. Baldoni put a screenshot about Blake Lively asking for the dailies, and he said, thoughts? The producer said, I'd say no, but check her contract first. I was waiting for to respond first. It's an absolute no from me as well, respectfully. Not sure the best way to respond being how delicate she is. Another producer said, I think you can either not respond until tomorrow. Or say you need to talk to the team, or just say no, you're not comfortable with it. Maybe we can just let this be Sony's decision, and you can respond with that for now. Baldoni then said thank you, spoke to too. I think I'm just going to say yes and send her a playlist of a bunch of good takes from different scenes that last for 3 or 4 days. Said no. The producer then said, we all said no, are you going to send it? He said no, she liked the idea of a playlist, no to access to all dailies. I wasn't clear in text. And the producer said, okay, cool, makes sense. Then Baldoni said, basically send her a playlist of what I showed her agent. And then, if and when she responds and say, can you send me anything that when I say I'm not comfortable with it, I haven't even seen anything. Believes that she will then start to edit the movie and tell me which takes to use if I give her access to everything. The producer then said, yes, I agree with that. Baldoni said, also, this is exactly how the writing process started. She asked if it was okay if she could take a pass at some dialogues. Just talked to Blake. She is in very good spirits, it seems, happy about this. Very nice conversation. The producer then said, good. Jamie said, great, that's great to hear. So, can you guys feel how exhausting this is? And he's really, truly trying to make her happy. First of all, because he's a nice guy. And he wants people to feel appreciated. And secondly, because he's fearful. He's afraid of her and what she will do to his career and false allegations that she would make. So this is now an email from Baldoni to Blake. Hi, sorry for the slow response. Yes, family is good. Brutal being away for such a long time and happy we are finally together. Lots happening. All good things overall. I had to hire new editors who I adore. They are going through everything now. I'm happy you felt energized by what you saw. Your performance is really, really beautiful. Stunning, actually. Regarding the dailies, obviously, you know I want your input. That's why I sent you the 5-hour-long playlist. But at this point, it's too early for me to share all the dailies. I start my cut in early August, given the new editors. and I'm still going through the rest myself. Also figuring out our shooting plan, as I have to cut and combine and find ways to scale down the budget. Once I'm physically in the edit and I have touched scenes myself, I would love to share it with you. I hope you enjoy your time off with your family. Talk soon. Blake comes back. I don't want to infringe on your time with your cut, of course. Don't feel you need to send me cut scenes. I was just excited to see. Regarding the dailies, none of the producers have had access to the dailies, ? Is it just you? This is now, I'm assuming she's leveraging the fact that she's a producer. She got a vanity credit as executive producer. And she's like, what, did the other producers not see the dailies? Baldoni shared limited scenes with Lively, feeling uncomfortable all the while. Yet he already knew that he had to bow to Lively's demands in order to get the film and its powerful message. Finally, he put his foot down, sending Lively one final scene and then telling her he would not be sending any more cuts until it was finished through the editorial process. Justin sends to Blake. No, not just me. And Jamie have access to the dailies, but not assemblies or cuts. He sends to her, happy birthday, Blake. Coincidentally, today is the last day of edit, as we are closing the room until we shoot again. It's been a wildly successful and I'm so happy. You are so fantastic in the film. I'm sending you over one of my favorite sections. I won't be posting or sending anything to anyone after this, but I'm excited to show you more in person when you come back. Please watch before Sunday, as all Pix accounts will get shut down on Monday until we back up. Have an amazing day. The WGA strike ended on the 27th of December 2023, and the SAG-AFTRA strike ended on November 9th, 2023. Months before, Baldoni had made Lively's representative aware that they would continue pre-production in order to hit the ground running when the strikes ended. But Lively and her lawyers had been busy devising other plans during the strike. The same day that the SAG-AFTRA strike ended, Baldoni, the studio, and the producers were eager to resume production. Instead, they were met with an email from Lively's lawyer, who sent Wayfarer an unsettling and unexpected 17-point list of non-negotiable demands. Conditions that needs to be met before Lively would return to work. The stunning list was drafted for the apparent purpose of insinuating and outright claiming that Baldoni, Heath, and others had engaged in sexual, inappropriate conduct during filming. Nothing could be further from the truth. So just so everyone understands the timeline of events, and this is the reason why I cannot fathom why there is people coming up for Blake or being Team Blake. The SAG-AFTRA strikes occurred. Everyone was away. They weren't allowed to film. During the strike, Baldoni and Blake were having very normal conversations, except for the fact that Blake was becoming more and more insistent that he sends her the dailies. She wants all the footage. She got more and more insistent about it. And she's used to him bowing to her will. And he gave a little. But at the end he was like, I'm sorry, I'm not giving you the cuts. He said it very politely, more politely than I would have. But he was like, I'm not sending you the cuts. Looking forward to showing it to you in person when you are back. Because as the conversation with the producers clearly showed, they knew that sending her all of the dailies and the raw cuts would mean that she's going to take over editing of the movie. She's going to try and edit the movie. She's going to try and tell the director what scenes he may or may not keep. He knew what was coming, so he was like, no. Then, the day that the strike ended, and this is not a big budget movie, it's more of a medium budget movie they were running out of funds. Blake Lively went gazillion dollars over budget with the ugly wardrobe. They can't afford any more delays. So they were getting ready. The day that the strike ended, they were like, okay, we are getting back to work. I know you're not. That is when they were met with the 17 non-negotiable terms before Blake Lively would return to work. Does any of this make sense to anybody? She was normal, everything fine. Oh, like in this list, they hear the things that she was complaining about. And they've been having a great working relationship up until this point, except for the fact that she was making demands and leveraging small shit that happens, going, yeah, you don't want that to come out. And then the first time that he doesn't bow to her will completely, she comes up with this list and refuses to come back to work. How is anyone on this woman's side? Anyway, I'm going to end this episode off here. There's a lot of things that came out after this lawsuits that we are still going to discuss, but we are working through, I've said it a million times, but we are working through this and then we'll get to all the updates. Thank you guys for watching, and remember to subscribe, comment down below what your thoughts are, any questions that you have. And also, the other thing I wanted to ask, I'm thinking of covering the Diddy case. P. Diddy's case started a couple of days ago. I'm not sure if I'm going to. If I do, I'm going to have to do a lot of research and figure out how to approach it. But let me know if that's something that you guys would want to see. But it is very rough, very triggering. It's so upsetting. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. It's awful. But let me know if that is something that you would like me to cover, and then I'll see what I can do. Thank you for popping by, and we'll chat again next time. All right. Okay, bye.